Over the course of my first semester as a college student, I've noticed that I've often thought about the future more often than the present. Inevitably, I then think to myself, what makes me do so? Perhaps it is the everlasting stream of emails relating to upcoming events. Maybe it is the various spheres of activity tugging away at my innate indecisiveness. Which career path should I take? When I look at Time by Max Ferguson, I am reminded of this struggle, but then something else happens. In the context of our Art and Spirit class, the painting challenges me to let go of the vanity of future achievement and instead focus on my efforts to positively affect the lives of others. In analyzing the subject, Nude Christensen and his surroundings, I find it simply astounding how this man has found something in life that he feels so passionate about that he must give such effort to. I look at myself and wonder when or if I will ever reach this point in my life. Yes, someday I intend to have a job, but will I be so enamored by it that I can enjoy some peace of mind? Furthermore, I quickly think of this peace of mind, and then I remind myself of my naivete. Is this even attainable? And if it were, would I want it? Max Ferguson's work proposes the idea of this serenity, but he leaves the audience to decide whether it would result in complacency, a habit of settling and neutralizing aspiration, or if it would lead to a heightened ability to focus on self-improvement. While mulling over this concept, the man smokes a pipe while looking down upon a newly finished clock. His vigor for his craft has not wavered over all of these years. But then, Ferguson undercuts this permanence with the overpowering theme of time passing and even minute symbols of smoke wistfully moving through space and the quick development of new technology. Through these qualities, the eternal conflict between life's ephemerality and the human tendency of trying to secure some feeling of lasting satisfaction is portrayed. By giving the artwork this symbolic structuring, Ferguson makes his audiences keenly aware of their potential self-determination while simultaneously revealing a bit of helplessness experienced by all. Now that I have had the opportunity to reflect upon this nagging, unsettling feeling that I often have when thinking about the future, I believe it arises from my awareness and concurrent lack of understanding of this dichotomy. In Time, I see a man controlling time while being controlled by time. He holds a finished clock in his hand, and he determines when the rest of the clocks will be finished. This setting is his awakening to archetypes, as there is no other object or concept in the universe as pervasive and as powerful as time. Nevertheless, I can look at this painting through the lenses of the wheel of spirituality, and I gain more comforting enlightenment. The section titled Awakening to Creative Energy encompasses the idea of the sheer power of the universe. This is a prompt for me to not obsess over outcomes and instead focus my thoughts on self-improvement on a step-by-step basis. Then, when I take a step back and become introspective for a bit, I realize that my view of self-improvement requires a certain global mindfulness that personal achievement alone cannot satisfy. It stems from assisting others. This is precisely why I appreciate the idea of a fat soul so much. While this idea of constantly working to improve one's ability to extend sympathy and understand other situations is something that is not discussed enough, it is not a topic that has gone completely unnoticed in socio-political realms. Martin Luther King Jr. once uttered, "We've learned to fly the air like birds, we've learned to swim the seas like fish, and yet we haven't learned to walk the earth as brothers and sisters." I think of all the great new friends that I've made since moving day, and while their backgrounds range from places as different as the rural flatlands of Texas to the neon outlined skylines of the Northeast, the common denominator between them is that they all have a keen attention to how their decisions and mannerisms impact others. I list all of these examples simply to illustrate how the core concepts of becoming a fat soul intertwine with the solution to my struggle. Because of my exposure to the fat soul mindset, I have become more in tune with my concerns, and instead of simply being aware of them, now I am in the midst of understanding them. Now when I think of the future, I look at it with a certain peace of mind. Why have things changed? I look into that future, and I see the same burning desire to help those in need. I see those that have made me into the person I am today and how they are in that future, guiding me with the same calmness and skill that they do today. Max Ferguson's Time is an illustration of that future. Nude Christensen, the subject, is not helpless at the mercy of time, but instead he is being carefully guided by his passion and creation. What he started as a young man has evolved and grown with him, but the true essence of the past remains the same. Because of this, I am content yet ambitious.